Cannonball Run. Perhaps you're familiar with a film from the early 80s starring Burt Reynolds, Roger Moore and that bird who went out with the Bionic Man. Well, this isn't that. We filmed 70 dot-com millionaires, trustafarians and assorted lunatics testing their driving skills in a road race from England to Morocco and back. 5 countries, 5 days, 5 hours sleep. Not at the wheel though, that would constitute a major risk to public safety. A race where the only rule is there are no rules, apart from that one. What follows can only be described as the film we made of the Cannonball Run Europe 2003.
Sherborne's about 37-38 miles from Poole. All that everybody knows at this stage is that they know they're going to a port. We're actually going to be going over to Poole, catching Condor's catamaran fast ferry. That'll take us into St Malo. It's about a 4-hour crossing via Jersey. Then from St Malo, that's where it's really going to start to hurt. Because their next stop is actually going to be Africa.
No messing about, the big leg gets out of the way straight away, so it's the run to the sun, all the way down to Algeciras, and then across on yet another ferry. So the first hotel they're going to see is going to be some 24 hours after they've actually started here. So it starts off very hard indeed, and then it starts getting tougher. We've got a top hotel lined up in Tangiers. The guys are going to have earned it by the time they get down there. Leg 2 is Barcelona or bust, so after a relaxing 3 hours in Tangiers, it's back across the water again, over to Algeciras, and then it's a straight run up to Barcelona. So fairly simple leg, a mere 10 hours in the car. The mountain sections mixed in just to keep it interesting there, but a lot of motorway on this leg, and so it's a blitz up to Barcelona where we've got yet another 5-star hotel lined up.
Leg 3 is Barcelona to Lyon and via Andorra, so more mountainy, twisty stuff. Everybody knows that there's going to be a track day involved, and that is on the final day, on the way back.
And then from there, it's just a straight blitz back to Calais to head back to the final night's party. So.
And the final night's party is at 4-star hotel in Weybridge.
Quick sleep train anyway. Yeah!
The destinations for each stage are a closely guarded secret, revealed only at the relevant checkpoints. Stage 1, we have a grueling 17 hours to get to the port of Algeciras on the southern coast of Spain. 1,263 miles of motorway madness and poxy Pyrenees mountain roads. Potential hazards include personal injury, arrest, and motion sickness. On the flip side, there's always the enjoyment of watching people hurt themselves, getting arrested and puking at high speed. Tense, nervous headaches are the currency of anxiety, and we were spending like a blind man with no arms. No such contestant has ever won the Cannonball. Arms and eyes that work are a crucial part of every driver's armoury.
Struggling, you'll have more fun.
Being Cannonball virgins, we were uncertain, vulnerable, and on the lookout for someone sensitive to our emotional needs. Nicky Nitro's comfort car, legitimate profession and blonde hair made him an ideal travelling companion for the first leg of the race.
This one's my company car. It's a Range Rover, U-shape, 4.4, with basically it's been chipped by super chips, and it's got nitrous in it as well, which was done a couple of days before we left. And the nitrous basically adds around about 140 to 150 brake horsepower to it in one hit. It's not on a button or anything, it's basically just done on a rocket launcher switch, and then it's progressive on the pedal. Basically, I've got a group of companies, really just like be doing some property, buying and selling things, bit of this, bit of that really, whatever makes the most amount of money with the smallest amount of effort. I did the Cannonball last year, but I've been racing for a fair few years, racing go-karts and stuff. I do like driving fast, I must admit I do like driving fast, but I will do silly shit, don't get me wrong.
Oh my God.
But I'm not going to go like totally and utterly overboard or endanger people's lives with it. So you get like an adrenaline rush, but it's not like overall, and you don't go stupid with it. It's pointless. So I've had too many things go wrong in my life, and a couple of my mates died through car accidents and things like that. It's just not worth it. So you drive sensibly, as long as you're always really within your means, you're okay. So, well, I think that it's okay rather than anything else. I mean, some people might think at the moment we're doing 115 mile an hour, it's pissing down with rain, but the car sits nicely, it's not messing around or anything, so it's just a stroll in the park really. Nice Sunday drive. Nearly Sunday drive.
Only a few hours into stage one, the run claims its first horrible victim.
Before the AA arrived. Before the AA arrived.
Take your stickers off, turn your lights out, and stand somewhere else just in case Plod comes along.
Yeah.
The scene soon attracts the customary rubberneckers, cannonballers checking for injuries, and of course gloaters doing gloating.
We're coming up here, looking at map directions.
There you go, what's your number, mate?
And just going too quick around the bend there. Not even that quick though, 60, 70, which was probably too quick. And slippery conditions. Came across this side of the roundabout, up the bank, in the ditch. The more it comes off, the better, isn't it?
The cannonballers quickly sanitise the car of any race evidence using techniques originally developed and refined on Tilbury housing estates.
Where's your route map as well, mate? Give us some of that route map. Because if John Darms get that, they'll know our whole route.
Want any help with anything?
What, with, well yeah, a higher vehicle if possible. Quick one.
What, like a Range Rover? That's a bit higher. Sorry.
No, we can say that.
John Darms.
You want to give him a hand?
Yeah, shit. Oh, let's go. Sorry boys, got lovely to leave you.
The Cannonball's first casualties have done nothing to steady our nerves, but have made the competition all that more exciting. Or something that feels very like that.
Does that make you feel nervous?
No, not at all. So he said he came in too quick into a corner, that's it, isn't it, really? He's lost it going into it. So, you know, it's his own fault, really. The thing is, it might not have rained it for ages either, innit? So it's like all the grease is at the top of the road, on the surface of the water. So you've got no braking, no stopping power or anything.
It's a bit different to what you were saying about an hour ago, isn't it?
I don't feel sorry for him, though. Bless him.
Big cows in fields. Strange turret things on buildings. Frankly unremarkable hills. A land whose inhabitants can't possibly be comfortable in suits in this weather, can they? It can only be Spain.
Ciao.
Or Italy. The weary cameraman, reduced to being wantonly rubbish, I don't know what that is momentarily cheered by the attempt for the world record for the fastest ever comfort stop. We were later told the attempt would be inadmissible due to it being made up and not really a comfort stop at all. After 14 hours of continuous driving, Nicky decides San Miguel meets all his nutritional requirements. They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, although on a personal note I prefer lunch with its starters, main course and dessert, possibly with coffee to finish. It beats cereal and the like hands down. A Skoda has been on our tail all night and it's slowly creeping up on us. Despite concerns it might be some kind of weirdo like that Spielberg film with a black lorry, Nicky attempts to reach out emotionally and communicate with the occupants on a meaningful level. The language barrier presents all sorts of problems, but none that can't be solved using the medium of Gurn. Here, Nicky utilises the Gurn popularised in the film Scanners, which is lovely.
First thing morning.
The Mercedes is written off, Gareth Wilson's out, one of the Skylines is out, Nick Powell and the camera crew have been arrested, cameras and passports confiscated off them and they've gone down to the police station.
Having been grassed up by an old man with a donkey, Nicky is arrested for driving faster than you're allowed to. I suppose giggling and guffawing at the animal was just our way of coping.
This is us not being able to film the police. We're not allowed. Not allowed. So we're filming a donkey instead. So how much that cost you?
266 euros.
Did he give you a discount for cash?
Yeah, well it should have been 380, but the gentleman, kind Spanish fellow, gave me
Are we getting a police escort out of here?
Yeah.
All the way down to the coast?
Oh no, you won't go that way, man.
No, because I've got to pay him.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I've got to go to cash point. That's
where he's taking that way then.
He's got me passport and shit.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
At times like these, words mean so much less than just speeding up the film.
You saw it parked in that guy's drive?
No.
Did you not?
No. You did? No.
There's no doubt Nicky grasps fully the legal arguments at play.
So this is what they do when they nick you. They take you to a cash point and then you...
Yeah, they nick all your fucking money. Does him in, mate. Does him in. Right, you're paying for the next one, alright? Even if you are not driving.
The filth confiscated our tapes and wiped them. In all honesty, they were probably the best bits. We've had to cobble most of this out of what was left. Out of sheer desperation and the fact that it's our job, we continue to record Nicky paying his fine stroke bribe. It's all the same out here. This is a country where justice comes with a health warning, and the warning says clear off. Have you seen this man? Perhaps you were trying to film the police taking a bribe at the time. That would be a coincidence, because that's exactly what happened to us. This nosy Parker had us banged up and charged with filming corrupt policemen fleecing foreigners. Thankfully, Nicky splashed the cash and we got off scot-free. They did wipe our tapes again though, but luckily, everything on them was of exceptionally low quality.
All alone with the angels, time with the angels, time with the angels.
We stopped off at a service station to see if they were at all interested in turning Nick over. We couldn't stay here for long. Apart from anything else, we were in a race. And some Scotsmen in a BMW, having opted to drive fast rather than inflame the local constabulary, had caught us up. We had become accustomed to other cars driving alongside us in order to get on the telly, but nothing prepared us for the idiocy that was to follow. You're travelling 100 miles per hour in a vehicle that has 6 gears. You're trying to overtake what I'm reliably informed is a 3-bed semi of a Range Rover. Which gear would you select? 5th? 4th? 3rd? No, 2nd. 100 miles an hour, 2nd gear.
Hello mate, it's Nick in the Range Rover. Not very well. They've been arrested.
Nick thinks it would be quite funny to wind up our assistant producer who's waiting for us at the checkpoint.
He's bought into it. He's like, oh, fucking hell with all this stuff. It's like, you're joking. I said, no, so you need £4 to get them out. I said, no, I need €5,500. Get 750 off the car. I've got to do the rest. Oh, there's the bank.
We arrive at the port to find everyone else has been there for some time, having avoided arrest and serial trips to the cash point. The competitors swapped stories, mostly lies probably, to kill time until they board the ferry. One guy reckoned he'd smashed through a police roadblock. The reality was altogether more prosaic. He'd run over a cat.
We got arrested!
Ours was the best story by far. Everyone said so. We also had the advantage of having it all on film apart from the bits the police erased. As I said, the best bits really.
How you doing, girls?
Oh, hello. Hello.
All right, mate. I'm having the bollocks off next week, all right?
It's only remained for us to find our hoodwinked crew who are still labouring under the hilarious misapprehension we'd been banged up.
It's alright, Sam, it's banged to rights, Carl.
Yeah. Oh,
You got me.
Nasty.
You got me.
And I'm still...
What Nicky and his co-driver crave more than anything now is to sit in the sun listening to some weird Moorish racket. A 5-star hotel in Tangiers, and the Stage 1 winners are awarded yellow t-shirts to show they're the winners of Stage 1. T-shirts will also be awarded to the winners of Stage 2, Stage 3 and Stage 4. Although being the last stage, maybe they won't. Maybe you just get a trophy or something. Either we tell you all that now, or we'll have to show it to you.
And we'd also like to make a note of the first guys to actually arrive at the finish, which was the startling 0906 this morning, Algeciras. And this goes to the GT2 Nutters, who don't actually win anything other than a round of applause, I guess.
Good morning.
Stage 2. The day ahead promises to bring a lot of driving about for a start. They've got to get to Barcelona, which is roughly 1,000 miles away. No one's complaining though. They enter the race of their own volition.
My theory is get off the train and just fucking go for it, because it's not the guys in front who get caught unless you're really unlucky. You cause all the problems, and by the time the police are actually there and in place, you're gone. You're 50 miles away. We overtook obviously quite a lot of people yesterday because we were at the back of the ferry. We saw a few policemen on the other side of the road. We saw them attempt to turn around and catch us. Their lights went on, but nothing, because they're not going to catch you at that speed. They chase you like for a few miles and realise you're not going to stop, you're not going to slow down, and so you just go for it, and they're not going to catch you. We were in the car yesterday and he was like, what's that knocking noise? I was like, what knocking noise? And he suddenly looked at speed and goes, there's a knocking noise. Ah, it's fine, don't worry about it. Yes, we're doing 210! There's a fucking knocking noise! Slow down. I've done America twice now, in the last 2 years on Gumball. And everyone says, yeah, you've done America? Yeah, it's a lovely country. I sit there, that's it. I've seen a lot of cop cars, but that's about it.
Fucking hell.
We got stopped once. We've gone over a hill and slammed on the brakes, and the cops come. I've got done a year before last in Florida doing 93, and everyone's locked up for a night. And I thought, oh fucking hell. So I've jumped out of the car and I've stood behind the car. They haven't even actually pulled us over, but I knew they were going to. So I'm standing behind the car, my girlfriend's got it all on videotape like that, going, sorry, I know, I'm going to jail. And he jumped out, he goes, nah, I'll give you guys a ticket. He goes, just be honest, how fast were you going? I was like, what'd you catch me at? He goes, well, I caught you at 155, he said. And there was smoke coming off all your tyres because you're braking so hard. It's like, okay, so he goes, what speed are you doing? I said, 160? 170? He goes, no, you're going faster than that. He goes, how fast does that thing do? I was like, 215? He goes, so you're doing what, 190? I said, yeah. He goes, what are you going to do? He goes, I'll give you a ticket, $145. This year wasn't too bad. We did $15,000, but usually it's like, yeah. But Alabama, for example, you get caught speeding, and it's like, it's $20 if you do like 56, 57, $100 if you do sort of 65, 67. Get caught doing 184, which we did on the whole handgun. It's like $7,000.
It seems that déjà vu is not just a French expression that means already seen. Well, it is, but we're not experiencing that particular uncanny sensation. We really are on the ferry again. But this time we're feeling experienced and confident, and stage 2 holds no fear for us. We've all taken Valium. We decide to head out in our crew car to shoot exteriors of the Cannonballers and are joined by Vagalis, a photographer from Greek motor mag Power Techniques. Brilliantly, we lose the pack within a matter of minutes and instead decide to probe the mind of an international motorsports photographer. This is what we probed. It isn't very good.
Well, I've been a photographer about 8 to 9 years now, a professional photographer. The Cannonball Run and the thing we are doing right now, it's one of the unique experience some people must have. It's bloody brilliant as an idea because it involves a lot of countries, and it's also brilliant because you can have whatever car you want, and you can also break whatever rule you want. I use a very high shutter speed because the cars are going very fast. We're driving like lunatics or something like that, and I use very fast speed, and I have to keep control of my body so that I can't. It's very easy to fall out of the car with a lot of speed, and that would be a problem, I think. Ladies and gentlemen, what are we going to do right now is download some pictures from my digital camera.
Vagalis is an extremely interesting man and an exceptionally engaging one too. But if he thinks we're going to listen to him bang on about downloading digital photos to his laptop, he's very, very mistaken. Frankly, I'd rather eat my own liver.
And hear some other words and make a beautiful cover.
Instead, let's watch him behave in a reckless manner, fearlessly seeking out the money shot with no thought for his own safety. Our cameraman filled in as fluffer.
I have some good pictures already, and the whole feature is going well. I think back in Greece, the magazine readers will love this thing because it's street racing, 5 countries, no rules. That's you know, the way to do it, I think. Nice thing, the Cannonball Run, and it's not dangerous at all, I believe.
final stretch into Barcelona was altogether more relaxed. To some extent, this was caused by the cameraman's growing fondness for fluffing anyone who sat still for long enough. We were sure not to accept drinks from him for the rest of the trip. Naturally, we couldn't find the hotel, so when we asked the police to provide an escort, the last thing we expected was to be directed to a strip bar where the girls did extras, so we weren't that surprised when this didn't happen. More surprising altogether was the fact these jokers failed to wipe any of our tapes and didn't even knock us for cash. No doubt they were demoted, fired, or possibly even shot as a result of this flagrant violation of their code of conduct.
This is Barcelona. We're all off to the Hard Rock Cafe to have lunch after a hard day's drive.
What's the time?
The time is 1:05 and we haven't had dinner yet.
1:05?
We've just arrived, 1:05 in the morning. It's ridiculous. We were in Africa this morning. What's all that about?
You drove there. We dined at Barcelona's premier eatery, where we enjoyed exquisite food and rock and roll paraphernalia. For a laugh, we suspended the cameraman from the ceiling by his feet and pushed him around the room, naked. Unsure as what to do, the drivers cheerfully mugged for the camera and drank booze for kicks. Our base appetite satisfied, we headed for the Ramblas to talk to random punters who, as we know, will submit to more or less anything, no matter how humiliating, in the presence of TV cameras.
I want to see the real Big Ben.
Tell you what, if they're 20 years younger, I might be tempted.
MTV? Oh my god.
We need two girls.
We'll make you famous.
We're from the USA.
Where about? It's a big place.
Kentucky.
Kentucky?
That's right.
You've got a bitch's ass! Hello! Hey look! A skyline!
These are good.
Liverpool?
We charge
Quality?
Manchester?
Oh no. Do you know you got a spot on your nose? I can't stand piss with it.
In an effort to part the culture curtains, we hit the dives. This is Ringo. He's a Scouser. He drives a Porsche. It's rubbish. This happens when he speaks.
I'm going to attempt to bladder around the roundabout as fast as I can without crashing.
Brilliant. Ringo bought this motor as a £1,500 write-off and rebuilt it. Here, he's attempting to destroy it again using his wits, a roundabout, and a lorry.
He's going to get us fucking hung, isn't he? Let's go, man!
He's the best at driving and that.
Rob there.
He's completely round the bend.
Dude, I nearly died. I think that bloke in the wagon's gonna fill me in.
When we set off, they advised us, they said, you need to buy loads of Pro Plus. You know, it's going to be really, really hard work, you know, really knackering.
Stage 3, Barcelona to Leon via the rugged terrain of Andorra. We decide to hitch a ride with Scooby Skateboy, who is intent on finding some slopes to shred with his longboard.
I've seen a lot of people turning up at the hotel looking like death and saying, it's really hard work. But to be honest, it wasn't that bad, you know, it was fine really.
Rob laughs in the face of sleep.
All I did for this race was a local Subaru specialist called Scooby Sport. They just gave it a good old service for me. I wanted to make sure we'd make it. When I bought it, already had a dump valve fitted and a big fat exhaust, and that was it. Apart from that, it's all standard.
Rob did porn.
Working up in Mammoth, a load of people came in the shop. A whole bunch of girls and a few guys came in. I rented them a whole load of equipment and then saw them the next day. It was my day off. I went back to their apartment and they had some big cameras and people walking around with not too many clothes on. Asked them what they were doing and they said that they were filming an adult movie.
Rob did porn.
Basically they said that they would give me a lift if I had taught them how to snowboard, so I spent the whole day with them. Teaching them how to snowboard. Absolutely brilliant people. They invited us back to their apartment in the evening for a meal, so I went back round there and all of a sudden it all started going off and it was quite hilarious. I just sat there completely gobsmacked by the whole thing. They said, "Can we film you?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, don't mind." And I just sat there completely fazed by the whole experience, but it was hilarious.
Rob did porn.
One of the girls that I was trying to teach how to snowboard, she kept falling over, landing on her ass, and then they'd all been in the jacuzzis and stuff, and she came up to me and just had a towel round her waist, and I was just sitting on the chair in the room, and she just walked up to me shouting, "Oh, look what you've done, look what you've done, look at my bruises." Obviously the bruises on her backside, just turned around, dropped her down, and bent over right in front of me.
Rob did porn. A keen skateboarder, it's Rob's dream to meet Michael J. Fox and reenact the famous chase scene from Back to the Future or something. Rob's favourite part is when the truck of dung falls on Biff. Because of his fannying around, everyone's overtaken us again. We actually managed to get some footage of cars racing, which was nice, but not much, so we've cut it with these two blokes dressed as the Blues Brothers chucking a Johnny full of 3-day-old mayonnaise at each other to pad it out. Here's the BMW looking to overtake Nick's Range Rover. But while they fight it out, Crazy Rob, not to be confused with Porno Rob, does the Beamer no problem and sets his sights on Nick. Crazy Rob always knows if a vehicle is coming in the opposite direction because he swerves violently away from the other car in an attempt to avoid a head-on collision. Crazy Rob's burning rubber, while these guys have been throwing a rubber at each other, and it's making them sick.
Fuck me. That is horrible. That's gotta go.
On the other side of the mountain, Ringo's rubbish Porsche is conked off.
Guys, I've had a nightmare. Disaster. Diff's blown up. Locked up solid, nearly took us off. So we had to roll back into here.
Luckily, Jim Bergerac was on hand to help with his car from the olden days.
That's it every time.
But the drama didn't end there. The Jersey cop banged his head and had to sod off.
We'll get a nice hire car and finish it.
We're going to carry on. We're going to carry on.
So we see you lunch?
You definitely will.
Tomorrow, maybe.
Definitely.
We left them reflecting on their abject failure to achieve anything at all. Back in the mountains, and Crazy Rob decides the only way to beat Nick is to drive faster than him for a bit, which he now does, eliciting this response from the director.
Fucking hell.
The BMW sticks with Nick all the way until it doesn't anymore because Nick's car has gone wrong. We're alerted to this by someone flapping their hand. The BMW suspects this may be a trick. A floppy wrist means nothing in the mountains. But they grow to trust the arm and eventually pull away.
You alright?
We open the window in an attempt to identify the problem, but that's no good, so we have to slow the car down until it stops and crawl about on all fours.
Can you see anything?
A more thorough examination reveals the cause of the car being wrong. There seems to be some kind of fire in the wheels. Vagelis lightens the mood.
Go to the corner as fast as you can and push the brake as hard as you can and then accelerate to the next corner and push the brakes again. When the disc brakes are loud enough to hear, that's right cooked over there. Stop at the side and the steamy brakes will be ready to eat.
The BMW has gone really fast and is hot on Crazy Rob's tail. Crazy Rob considers his options and decides the best tactic is to increase the speed at which he's travelling. The BMW responds by not driving as fast as Crazy Rob. This they now do, for quite a long time. Bergerac is back, but this time he's wearing a helmet to protect his bad head. Charlie Hungerford has agreed to wear a helmet as well, so people don't make fun of Jim. Even with the helmets, they're surprised by the sudden onset of darkness. We arrive in Lyon to sleep in our high hotel. Rain has been greeted enthusiastically by farmers in the area. Day 5, and the farmers are fed up with the weather now. Desperate to avoid their whinging, we hitch a ride with Jerry Marney, who takes his driving so seriously, he's vowed never to blink. Jerry's wobbly dashboard is often a talking point on long journeys. Not that many of his journeys seem long. He drives so fast, he takes these jokers easily. Oh no, it's the cops. Don't worry, this is a trick from the master of making people get the hell out of his way. Fast.
Best at night.
A load of us are going to the Dijon Grand Prix racetrack to race around it in the rain. At the track, Crazy Rob does donuts and other maneuvers you won't find in any rule book, for a laugh. But for the cops, it's no laughing matter. They tell him to pack it in and stop messing about. A man with no arms captures the chase for posterity. Others follow Rob's lead, but in a marginally less impressive way. Like the light, the driver's mood has darkened with reports that animals have been spotted lining up 2 by 2. Organiser Steve has more bad news. the track race is off.
We're in the business of having a good time, not in the business of killing people, okay? So we had to cancel the stage, so that's done. We are going to run the track and we are going to run the last stage, but what we're going to do is actually reduce the target time. So the people that still need to make up time are still in with a shot of doing that, and everyone gets to run the last stage.
We knew it was bad rain, but it took a gibbering Frenchman to lay it on the line.
Il pleut. Et vous avez cassé la voiture.
Il pleut pour vache qui pisse.
Ouais, et puis tu veux venir faire avec moi le tour du circuit?
It's raining like a cow is pissing.
The contestants will be allowed to drive around the track to see if they don't crash. But before they do, the safety crews show Rob all the places driving fast is wrong.
Et après, si vous faites pas là, boum ici.
Right, okay.
Et là-bas, c'est encore.
Basically saying that all the corners are, every corner you go around, if you get it wrong and you lose the back, you're just going to go across the track into the tyres. So just take it easy, because there's not much runoff.
Rob's hands say it all.
Fence line, which is along the fence line, you've got maybe 10 feet behind the tyres. The fence is broken down where cars basically hit the fence, fucking gone flying over the top. You got great big streams going down the middle of the track, so you're just going to have to play.
Where are the rapids?
Sorry? They're around. Yeah, it's basically fucking go slow, but I'm probably the worst person to give this briefing.
With the rain easing off, those drivers who fancied their chances took to the track. We rode with Jerry, who kept us fully appraised of the situation.
So we're out of the pits. Very, very slippery. Very slippery. Okay, we're on the straight, accelerating down the circuit, down a gear, brake in a straight line again, turn in into the apex, on the power, way, this really is atrocious, up we go, keep way. Okay, actually I'm quite enjoying this. Down a gear, on the brakes, okay. Here we go, round we go. Coming up on three other, whoa! You have to excuse me, the dramatics is actually quite good fun. Round we go.
On completing the course, Jerry's euphoria gradually turned to outright hostility.
Bloody hell. That was fucking marvellous. It may be wet, it may be foggy, but it was great. And I don't care if I am fucking 50, I still enjoyed the event and I enjoyed going out on the track. So if you're not fucking here next year, bollocks to you.
The home straight and more casualties. Production on this revolutionary paper car was subsequently halted. The news moved all who heard it. The race had reached maximum intensity. The BMW overtook us. This only strengthened our resolve. Paranoia was widespread. Many checked for bombs. This car had been booby-trapped with tape. Weaving in and out of cones was just one of the ways drivers sought to gain a psychological edge. Then suddenly, and without warning, we were in Dover. After what seemed like several days, the Cannonball Run Europe was over for another year. The end of race party, and contestants drove amusingly in anticipation of the revelry to come. The evening allowed us to ask cannonballers to reflect on the events of the past few days and ignore all but two of them.
The highs were we made it to Morocco, and the lows were we blew it up in Andorra.
The winners show they're no slouches when it comes to doing fractions.
We managed to meet a load of great people on this trip, and to all the other drivers, it wouldn't have been half the event without every single person here.
These are real fireworks, but metaphorical fireworks went off when event owner Tim Porter exposed a flaw in the competition's rules.
And everyone here deserves to be a winner.
Amazingly, all the contestants deserve to win.
Brilliant, because without you guys, there wouldn't be an event. It's fantastic. Thank you.
The scandal was quickly forgotten when news filtered through that Bergerac had had a crash, and we partied long into the night.